Looks like we're live.
What's up, Vic?
What's up, brother?
Oh, just back from holiday vacation.
Mm-hmm. What are we talking about today? Do we got any sponsors yet? First of all, if not, first sponsorship, I'm recommending the cookies, the Danish cookies for Christmas time. There goes my diet for the next couple of weeks.
Oh man, just ruined.
Yeah, it's been ruined since Christmas started.
Oh my God, so much food, so much celebrating,
So much food.
so much family to visit.
Yeah. Sorry to anyone we didn't have a chance to visit with. It's planning a week over there is not enough time for anything.
No,
No, way more than a week. Need a month time.
Yeah, we got to go back for longer than just a week.
Yeah.
So what's going on? What's the talk?
The talk, year's winding down, so if you haven't already, get your pre-sales. Get your pre-sales for next year. I think that's what they're calling them. Or are they calling them what?
The annual sale.
Semi-annual sales.
The annual sale, yeah. The end of the year sales, all that stuff's going on.
I like the word pre-sales for next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's getting their pre-sales and buying up everything, and it's still hectic just about everywhere in terms of retail.
Oh yeah. Well, they're trying to really give you the best price possible. They're trying to. It's like they're doing everything in their capacity to keep the doors open.
They have to.
Yeah.
They have to. Everyone's dying out. We said it multiple times. They're all dying out.
Right. And so yeah, this holiday season really reflected that in a lot of the sales that they had going on, and that these corporations like J.C. Penney, Best Buy, who's another, I don't know, but a bunch of retailers, for example, just a bunch of retail shops. For the most part, clothing, apparel, any of that stuff, shoes, they were just doing really awesome sales. And what do you think the reason for that is?
Trying to get rid of all last minute stock.
Yeah, that's
pretty much it.
Yeah, that's
getting rid of last minute stock.
That's mostly what it's about. But I think at this point, like I said, I think it's a little more, and they're really pushing it for their livelihood. Companies like this are getting knocked out. And the complete opposite, we saw for Amazon. Amazon is just taking over.
Everything.
Yeah. I mean, you hear people talking about Amazon. Posting about Amazon, how they've seen fleets of their vehicles setting up in some kind of building that is no longer being used. May have been,
warehouse,
an old mall warehouse or
warehouse.
something. Some kind of building that they're looking for, and here where we're at in Colorado, we can't really see it because we're not in a big town. We're not really next to a big town, but in Austin, Texas, where that stuff is happening, we saw them setting up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they had
some crazy stuff.
Yeah, they had facilities where they had, I don't know how many fleets of vehicles that were just in their delivery vehicles.
Yeah. Those new Amazon delivery vehicles. If you haven't seen them, I think I have a picture of one. We'll post it on there. But basically, Amazon just took out FedEx.
Yeah.
Like, they just don't need FedEx anymore. They did their own thing.
Yeah, FedEx is no longer affiliated with Amazon, and so Amazon is delivering all of their own stuff, if you didn't know that. And I also had read an article about another facility that they're trying to build there in Central Texas. We just got one in San Marcos, a fulfillment center. About how many years ago do you think?
3, 4?
About maybe something like that.
3 or 4 years ago.
Yes, not too long ago, but we did get a center, and it was kind of hyped up, and Amazon was going to be in the area, and you'd be getting new services, or some access to certain services. Would you think? And so now this new center that they're going to build, they're saying is going to just topple that center, just make it seem like it's a little, excuse me, like it's you know, just like a little sub center or something. Like it's not a main center, you know, and it's huge. It is huge, and so this facility they're saying is just going to be way more bigger.
Yeah.
Just a lot more space.
Yeah, these centers are getting more and more crazy in terms of what they're trying to accomplish and what they're currently doing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff, you know, it's cool getting your packages, you know, within the day, within the hour, within a couple of minutes is what it seems like they're moving to. Just
As
prime
fast
5
as they
minutes,
can.
prime 5 minutes. But you know, when you are ordering stuff online, just keeping what would I say at this? Just keep in mind the process that goes in through it. A lot of the controversial stuff going on with the Amazon right now is the fact that they're having these kind of these workplace incidents of death and or injury happening in the workplace, and a lot of it's chalking up to either no or lack of what would you call it, training, safety training. And so that's getting crazy, and the way they're resolving this, and we can dive into it deeper, but probably not. But basically, it goes down to, hey, incident happened at a work fulfillment center, and we as OSHA, I would like to think it's OSHA, would be telling them, hey, you either reprimand it or reprimand someone or figure out how to do something, whereas someone gets in trouble essentially, or Amazon has to pay a fine, to them holding the cards to where like, okay, well, if you reprimand us, we'll just take our whole facility or whole operation to another town.
Yep.
And it's basically just coming down to that. And I think that's pretty freaking crazy that the corporation has that much power.
It's really not crazy. That's what Bernie Sanders is really trying to exploit right now, and how much control these corporations have. But it's just sad when you see these corporations display their strength in that manner.
Yeah.
You know, where the livelihood of their employees is at stake, and it's not their priority. You know.
Yeah.
Their priority is to keep growing. You know.
Yeah.
That's
it is weird though.
yeah. That's
Trying to buy the world.
For them. Yeah, that's the price of doing business.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. You know, it's sad, but for them, that's just the price of doing business. But yeah, ultimately, I think they're making the moves to just really become this huge conglomerate, and more. I mean, if you're oh, so here's something. So this year, talking with people, with family members, it was like, oh yeah, so Christmas shopping. I just ordered everything online. Yeah. This year, I just went ahead, hit Amazon. Yeah. My nephew sent me some links. They were get away from it. My nephew sent me some links. They were directly to Amazon products.
Oh yeah, so I already had it picked out.
You just add it to your basket, and pay for it, and it's here in the next couple of days.
Isn't that the season though? Isn't it the season of links?
And people were suggesting take it one step further. Amazon should offer gift wrapping.
But they do.
They do?
Yeah, they do.
Huh.
Yeah, they offer gift wrapping and all. That's at the very bottom. No one ever reads that. It's like the final print.
There
you
go.
Just kind of look over it.
There's that, and yeah, that's where everybody's kind of moving towards. It's just normal now. It's just a normal thing instead of going out to the store, looking for the sales, chasing them down, going over whatever's just in their stock. You got options, and you got service, and the ease of not having to deal with lines or traffic or whatever you want.
People, not having to deal with people.
Or who, so we moved to this system of this online service and getting it delivered to your house. And Amazon is betting on this. This is what Amazon wants. They want you to buy more products from them faster, just as fast as you want to receive them, they want you to request them, and they want to be the provider of that. So that's what's happening. It's crazy, and thinking, where is Amazon heading with some of their services? I mean, how long before we see Amazon
5 minute. Amazon 5 minute. Have it to your door in 5 minutes.
Well, not only just quick service, but how long before pretty much Amazon is branding their own products, and every just about everything you're getting is like an Amazon brand.
They are doing that already.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. But like, how long before the next car you buy is an Amazon car? You know what I'm saying?
Next year.
The next TV,
No.
Amazon
Essentially,
moves in from buying. I mean, from just everything that you need. You know what I'm saying? Like your appliances and stuff like that to your vehicle. So it's it's crazy to think it'd be like a movie where the buildings would be owned by Amazon, the cars would be owned by Amazon, the roads would be owned by Amazon.
So as someone who deals in retail, and that you can get your stuff from the same stuff we sell on Amazon, that you can basically get the same stuff we sell on Amazon. And there's no doubt about it. Everyone knows.
But you're saying that the product that you have, maybe like a store brand product, is also available through an Amazon brand product?
I would say the same item is probably the same. So if you had a microphone, let's say I don't want to say where I work, but basically, let's say I worked in an audio facility, and I sold this microphone, this exact microphone, right? And I sold it at my store for, I don't know, making up a number, say $30, right? Let's say I sold it for $30. I come to find that Amazon, people who show me links on Amazon at my job, pretty much show me the exact same thing, and it's cheaper essentially. This is what it comes down to when you buy on Amazon. This is the one thing people don't understand, and it's weird. But basically, their market is super heavily unregulated. So you don't know whether or not you type in, for example, some of the harder things to find with personal experience would be car parts, right? And so their catalog is good in terms of, hey, we got some products that are kind of what you're looking for. And then there's a lot of BS products which are like...
a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah, a lot of uncertainty. Like, hey, this part fits your vehicle, or hey, this it's an electric turbo, which doesn't really work. Yeah, and it's just a bunch of nonsense. But through it all, the searches, no matter what I'm looking for, whether it be my protein powder specific stuff, and or car parts, and or audio stuff, usually I can find it within their like first page or second page. However, their catalogs aren't perfect yet. They're getting there. They're super close to getting there, but they're not super, super perfect yet. Yeah. And so it almost begs the question, at what point, and this is the more realistic question, is that at what point does Amazon know what you want before you want it in terms of stuff they already have? Like, for example...
They're trying to get there. I forgot, they have some little thing. I'm not too familiar with it, but it's some kind of thing that you're like hitting it to let it know, like...
No, that's the button. That's still ordering it when you need it, right?
Right.
Now, at what point...
And that's what I'm saying. That data that's being collected to know what exactly you want is letting them know more or less when you want it. Yeah. And what quantity you want it.
Yeah.
So they're already making those moves. It's just that they're not quite there with putting that stuff out yet, I don't think.
So I would make a prediction saying that they have all this stuff figured out by a year whenever they rolled out their new data collecting equipment.
Yeah.
And I say that's within the next couple of years. The only reason I'm saying that is because lately I've been noticing
Yeah,
that.
but I don't think that's that's not a Amazon knowing what you want before you want it is a little crazy, but I don't think that's the worst thing about them.
No, I'm not saying it's typically bad or
Yeah.
good. I'm just saying that this is the next thing coming up.
Yeah.
Is that they're going to start making recommendations to you based
Yeah.
on.
But these recommendations that they may be making to you may be items that have been reviewed well, and that's another thing that we saw is that how people will go ahead and make their decisions, how they choose an item when you're purchasing from online. That was kind of crazy. I forgot what we were looking at, and it was something like a specialized item or something like that. That if you weren't in the know of this product in that part of what I forgot what it was. I think it was like I think we were just kind of talking about oil or something like that, and it was
Yeah, we were
like,
talking about Amazon's oil and stuff.
yeah, and I think it was just like if somebody who made a particular oil that is a little more exclusive, it's probably not going to get reviewed well because most people will say you can get something cheaper that works.
Oh, I remember
You know
what
what
it
I'm
was.
saying?
I think it was somewhere along the lines of Mobile Annual and how that kind of flopped, and then Amazon synthetic oil and how that's just readily on the market now. And it's,
Well, what I'm ultimately talking about is how if there is a product that is a little more niche specific, and then like I said, it just doesn't get reviewed well by other people who are just not into that niche, and their reasoning is that you can get something for this a cheaper price that works just as well, and so they'll heavily review another item that is the lower price, and because you get a whole slew of reviews, you start seeing more and more and more and more, and people just start making their review a little more generic, like, oh yeah, works great, great price. You know what I'm saying? 5-star review.
mm-hmm.
And if you have a product like that that has thousands of reviews versus another product that has 5 reviews, and even if it's a 5-star item, you may not really want to opt for that item. So Amazon is kind of displacing a lot of products like that. Like they're gonna
yeah, but that's on
ultimately
both ends, though.
kind of culminate a list of almost like not necessarily generic, but generic options. You know what I'm saying? Your choice, your first page pick, first top of the page pick is kind of like a generic option. Like this is what the masses buy. You know what I'm saying? And the thing with those products is that a lot of times the way that they break through to that top place, these people who put those products in their store, they use little strategies like paying third party people to get people, just random people, to buy your product from Amazon, receive it, and then review it, and they get paid to do that. But ultimately, the person who put the product on Amazon paid to do all of that through a third party, person who's setting that other stuff up for them. So it's like, you got to kind of be careful with what exactly you're getting, because Amazon really pushes their algorithm to put that kind of like the generic option. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can kind of get your product up to the top, then that's the product that everybody chooses, whether it's the best product or not.
Yeah, I feel like we already talked about this before.
Yeah,
but
I know, but
yeah, and we can talk about how wild west the Amazon market is, to the fact that what happened recently where they were selling Christmas ornaments that were basically Holocaust themed.
mm-hmm.
Like there's no regulation on this market. We've come to the realization that Whatever's going on
I
is
know,
just,
but it's
just
that,
going on.
that I feel like if we talked about it, it's really needs to be out there because, like I said, it was just something really heavy with, even just conversation that we had in this holiday season, how people were making their choices. Like, oh yeah, oh yeah, I saw this thing on Amazon and it had like these great reviews, and oh, let's go over here, go eat to this place because it's, well, what are the reviews like?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
That's
It's
the
like,
thing with
yeah,
everything.
and
though,
that's
man.
what I'm saying. Like, reviews are just kind of, I don't know. It's
They're
just,
opinions.
yeah,
They're
and
all
it's like
opinions. If you haven't
we're
figured that out yet.
becoming, I guess it's also not just be careful with Amazon, but be careful in how you start to engage in that type of behavior. Looking at a restaurant, like, let's read the reviews. It's kind of like you just kind of got to go try it out.
Yeah.
A review isn't gonna
Yeah.
really do it justice. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just a weird shift.
Yeah.
Of it kind of just all goes in together. Like, we want all this stuff, we want it now.
Yeah.
We don't want to
Yeah.
decide. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
it's
saying? And
definitely
that's
gonna
what
get
I'm.
better
That's
like
what I'm
that.
telling. That's what I'm kind of getting at with this is that it's an option that you don't really have to choose. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
you
go
don't
on
want to
Amazon.
decide.
You don't have to decide. You just
Yeah.
pick whatever's on the
Top
first
pick.
page,
Top
first
pick.
one, and you just go with it.
Yeah.
My thing is that it's gonna get great. It's gonna get phenomenal. We're gonna get to the point to where
And this
Amazon
is
just gives us whatever we
through,
know
the
is gonna go
workaround.
on.
This is what we got to go through to get there.
No, it's actually gonna get way, way, way better.
That's what I'm saying.
And
This
then-
is what we got to go through right now to get
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. It's like I said, at some point when because Amazon,
Sucks.
Google, and Apple just all teamed together to go ahead and release stuff like temperature changing shower heads and let me see, what was it, the thermostat that knows when to go ahead and turn on. Eventually, at some point, every house is going to have those, and then all the houses on the street are going to go ahead and be connected. So when one person turns on their heater, eventually at some point all the other heaters are going to know, hey, let me go ahead and tell my human, hey, you want to turn on the heater? Really recommended right now because it might freeze. And then the person's like, yeah, just go ahead.
No, I think
turn it on.
well, actually, those.
And then it's like, hey, you want a scarf? You want to buy a scarf? Mittens? Next week
Right.
it's going to have a snowstorm.
Yeah.
And then same thing, when it's hot, it starts sending you all these like sandcastle play sets or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
It's going to get real better, but
It's
at
there.
that point, I think this artificial intelligence, this data collecting tool, is going to know way more about us in terms of the species and how we migrate, how we do things, when we do things, why we do things, when we do them, and just know everything about us. And that's the scary part I would like to emphasize when you go ahead and click buy now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, do with what you want with that information. It can be super good, like, Amazon recommending you, what is it, where are we going towards snow time? So for us up here, snow chains. For people in the south, lighter sweaters. And for people way, way, way up north, like miniature portable heaters and stuff like that. But until that day, we just kind of play it by ear.
Yeah. 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 Well, that's just what we're going through and what was happening. So, yeah, good old Amazon taking over.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, I want something, blah, 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 blah. Well, have you checked Amazon? Have you
Amazon
looked into
Fresh.
Amazon Fresh.
Amazon Go. Amazon Now. Amazon 5
That
minutes.
oh, yeah, let me say something on that real quick. So I wanted something from a local market. Produce. I wanted produce from a local market going back home. They just had, we walked into a local grocer, H-E-B. I'm going to put them out there. Fuck it, right? Because they're awesome.
They're not paying
Yeah,
us.
they're not paying us for nothing. But H-E-B, I
H-E-B.
walked in, and their produce was just amazing. And I was
Solid.
like, oh my God, we should just buy all kinds of stuff up because we're
Bring it
just
back.
like
Smuggling
in
grapefruits
a
across
produce.
state lines.
We're not in a produce desert, but our selection is really limited, and like you can get a grapefruit here,
But it's all small.
but
it's like this
yeah,
big
it's
and
like
stuff.
they just had like one that looked good, and over there it just looked like just to get a bag.
Amazon. I mean, not
get
Amazon.
a bag.
H-E-B grapefruits like this big.
Oh my God,
They're all like, that's the smallest one. That's all.
And so I was like, hey, could you order from this, grocer and get it delivered? Because now they're becoming big, huge,
Yeah, they covered pretty much all of Texas.
right, and
so.
they're doing delivery service and curbside service, all this stuff. And so I was like, could they deliver to us out of state? Because they're only in Texas. And we look into it, and they do ship
Out of
everywhere.
state.
But
Continental U.S.
yeah, I mean continental U.S. They do ship continental U.S., but
It's only hard stuff.
yes, they do not ship produce. So
No
the next
produce.
best option was Amazon Fresh.
Amazon Fresh.
So that's where we're at with Amazon.
Freaking Amazon.
Damn it. Freaking Amazon, man. Alrighty, guys.
Yeah.
So there you have it. Amazon is taking over everything, and
It's soon going to be taking over everyone.
yeah.
They're the pioneers of Skynet.
Yeah, once you buy your car, the next car you buy is going to be an Amazon
car. Yep.
Alrighty, guys. Till next time.
See ya.